Now, the opposition in Sudan has called for big demonstrations this weekend to remove the government of President Omar al-Bashir. He's ruled the African nation since taking power in a military coup 30 years ago. Dozens have been killed and thousands have been detained in protests which began after bread prices rose sharply earlier this year. Many of those at the forefront are young women who are fighting to create a new society, as our Africa editor Fergal Keane tells us.
The women of Al-Afad University facing the regime's police. The men with guns drive past repeatedly, but the women stand firm. And that kind of courage is everywhere these days. Asil Diab is a celebrated Sudanese artist, but she's using her talent to protest, painting the faces of the detained on the walls of Khartoum.
This art reaches many people, whether they're walking or driving. All of them look. They can see the character, and if they don't know who it is, they ask, so people keep talking about it.
Women have faced severe repression under the regime's version of Islamic law. Now as many as 2/3 of demonstrators are female. This woman hurling tear gas back at the police. For others like Wifak Qureshi, who started as a student activist 6 years ago, the aim isn't just to remove the regime, but the entire politics of patriarchy.
There are certain ideas that we need to fix, like that girls should stay at home while men protect and provide for them, or that men should go out on the streets but we should not. This was one of the things I protested for, and I think it is changing a lot now.
The road to change was opened by economic crisis. After 30 years in power, the Bashir regime has failed to deliver jobs or prosperity, and soaring inflation alienated the middle classes whose children took to the streets.
The economic situation is so bad that even people from middle class, even affluent families, found it hard to maintain their daily bread. And so when they reached that level of desperation, they became equal with the poor and the working classes and had nothing to lose.
With Bashir still firmly in control of the security forces, it doesn't look as if the new Sudan will be born anytime soon. But what is significant is that the experience of brutality, of witnessing what's happening to others, has traumatized, but also deepened the determination of the protesters.
This is something truly sad. If you don't believe truly in what you do, it is hard to go on. If you don't believe, then you will feel it is okay to just stand by and watch them beat people. When you see a man is being beaten, I don't think you would cross your arms and just watch.
Whether or not they remove the regime soon, the women of Sudan have already achieved fundamental change in how their society sees them, in how they see themselves. Fergal Keane, BBC News.
The turbulent road to change in Sudan.